going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is a bright and warm sunny day. It literally feels absolutely like springtime right now. We're pushing 5 degrees Celsius, a breeze in the air, and a blue sky above with very little clouds. So for today's episode, Boomer and I have decided to bring the Ram truck out here. We've got the wood stove. It is going to get cold tonight. And we've got our big sleeping bag right here. So we're going to be totally nice and warm. And we're basically just going to do an Overland style truck camp out. So I have a few pieces of gear I want to get set up because I do want to have an outside campfire, as well as cozy up to this wood stove in here later on tonight, as the days using this are most likely numbered. Spring is here, summer's on the way, so this guy's going to be taking a break for a little while, I got a feeling, so we might as well enjoy it while we can. So let's go ahead and get some gear set up, start on a hot drink, and kick back and relax. Alright guys, got my hot cup of coffee on the go right now. Just basking in this sunshine. So the wind is cold, I will say that. It's almost uncomfortably cold when I'm moving around, but sitting still right here in that sun, it's actually pretty bearable, especially with a hot cup of coffee. So I'm going to relax for a few moments. The winds are picking up something nasty, which is giving me a good idea of where I'm going to do my outside fire pit, which I'm going to get set up momentarily. Just kind of watching the winds and kind of looking at firewood source off in the distance here. I can see a couple trees that I can cut, bring over here and process and do some cooking and stuff outdoors. So I'm just going to relax, enjoy this coffee for a few moments, and probably get on a warm sweater or shirt once I start moving around, because I got a feeling it's going to cool off a little tonight. So let's not get too ambitious with the spring temperatures. But anyways, cheers guys, hot coffee. Alright guys, in the process of making some firewood, collecting logs and whatnot for tonight's fire pit, and ran into a little bit of a problem, so I just want to share how I fix this when it happens in the woods, because it is a little bit of a kind of an annoyance. When the chain pops off the bar, usually it's a quick fix. Just loosen it up, take the chain off, re-thread it back through the rails on the bar, tighten it up, and off you go. Well, this particular instance, this wood is really wet, and it grabbed the bar and twisted as the tree was moving, and it shot the chain off while I was still on the throttle. The chain came off, whipped, and hit a piece of metal on one of the saw dogs, and it actually flattened out the metal on the chain, so now the chain is a little bit wider than the race in the bar. So basically 5 links, I can count now, are too wide to go down this channel in the bar, so they need to be filed down. If you don't have a file, what I like to do is an axe puck. So here I have my axe puck that's used for sharpening axes and knives and whatever. Basically just run this along that piece of metal right on the inside of the chain, thin it down, take that burr off, relace it, put the saw back together, and it should work no problem. So that's what I'm going to do. Take a few seconds, grind those 5 teeth down, and then get back to work. Alright guys, I've got firewood cut, split, and in the fire pit burning away right now. It is quite smoky because a lot of the wood I put in there right now is punky and wet. So I'm trying to get a good cold base burning nice and slow. The wind is pushing through here. If I put all my dry wood on there, it'll go up like nothing. Super fast, it'll burn very quick, and I don't want that. So everything taken care of, the saw all fixed up, everything done. I am now ready to start on supper. So I got a couple things out here on the tailgate. I'm basically going to do all my food prep out here, and then once the fire's burned down to coals, I can then go over and cook on top of the flame. What I'm doing for supper is hamburgers. I'm super excited for this. I'm starving. Definitely need supper. So I want to get everything organized out here, start prepping, and continue on with this evening. All right, guys, supper is all finished with, and Boomer had to sit this one out. So I have burgers with onion, yellow onion, green onion, you name it, and he can't have onion, obviously. So he has been up here in the back of the truck snacking on his own treat. He did have all of his dog food and ate that, and he was kind of in the middle of a nap, to be honest. He was sleeping there. He's still stretching, trying to get out. Yeah, so he's already had his food, but he had to sit this one out because he will whine and cry and beg for the burger because he always gets burgers or steak. And this time, I wasn't having it. So he had to sit up in the truck, a little bit of a nap, waking up now. He's got his treat still on the bed. He's snacking away on that. So I think he might come out. I'm going to get his jacket on him and we'll see, because it is getting quite a bit colder. You guys can see I'm wearing my sweater. I might put my jacket on myself. To be quite honest, the wind is cold. So the fire's stoked up right now. I do still have to get the chimney put through the roof of the truck, and that'll be ready for the wood stove later on this evening, which is honestly quickly approaching, very fast. So I'm going to finish tidying up around here, get Boomer a little bit warmer, go sit by the fire, and who knows, maybe we'll have a starlit sky tonight. So let's do a little bit more cleaning and get warm because it is cold. Alright guys, it is now relax time. Boomer has made his way inside the truck, curled up in a ball. He has had enough today. It is quite cold. It's not in the negatives. It's like 1 degree Celsius, but it's just a crisp, cold breeze that's pushing through here. We're on this old logging road, and there's a lake off in this direction, so the wind is just pushing through here like nothing. It is absolutely uncomfortable, and it's not even freezing temperatures. I don't quite know how to explain it. But this campfire is definitely helping. I'm warming up my legs. I've got my coffee left over from earlier today still in my cup, so I might as well finish that up. And I've got the wood stove ready to go inside of the truck. Just gotta light that fire starter, toss it in, and that truck will warm up really quickly. Usually about 10 minutes, it's nice and toasty in there, and then I can damp the stove down and keep it at a nice comfort level. I was gonna bring the diesel heater on this trip, but with the temperatures being plus and not negative, I didn't feel the need to bring 2 heat sources. Although it is nice having the diesel heater to just flick it on with the remote, quick on, quick off. Super simple. The wood stove's nice too, and I have a really good method of using it, so it doesn't really seem like a task or a chore. I just load it, have all the wood prepped in there. I got some compressed logs and some natural wood, combination of those, so it'll definitely be worth it, and I can cook on the wood stove as well. So I'll probably make hot coffee in there come morning time. That way I don't have to come outside, prep this, make a big fire just to put it out, and then go home. So right now, it is chilly, and there are very, very little clouds in the sky. The sun is on its way down. I'm looking through the trees right now. It's actually sunset right now, very early sunset, that yellow hour. There is a little bit of pink starting to happen under 1 or 2 of these clouds in the sky. So I got a feeling tonight is going to be a starscape, a big black sky full of billions of stars. I'm definitely going to enjoy that. So right now, I'm just going to warm up next to the fire and just kind of take it from there. See how comfortable I am with this cold breeze pushing through here. I might retreat inside of the truck sooner than later with Boomer. Who knows? This is more of just a relaxed kind of camping trip. I did take March break off to spend time with children and family at home. So this is actually my first trip after March break out. So I just want to kind of relax and just ease into things and get ready for spring. Get ready for spring and summer because it's almost here. And a lot of the snow around this area is melting fast. So who knows, we might get dumped on with snow again. We might just roll right into summer. But I am going to enjoy this nice and relaxing trip. And I'm glad I could share it with you guys. So cheers. I'll catch up with you guys a little later on. All right, guys, jumping inside of the truck. It is already toasty warm in here. Man, it is cold outside. The wind just whipping through there. So definitely relaxing inside of here. I'm giving myself goosebumps because the back of my hands are so cold. Boomer's up here right behind me, curled up in a ball. He's done for the day for sure. I've got my shoes in here. They are soaking wet because I've been going through all this snow today where it was plus temperatures. My socks are soaking wet, so I've got new socks in here. I've got a pair of base layer pants. My slippers are in here as well, and I have my indoor-outdoor slippers up here with rubber soles, so it's easy to kind of go in and out of the truck. Boomer, you got to get out of this. You're going to be way too hot. So what I like to do when I'm in the truck overnight and it's cold out and everything's soaked is I prop everything in front of the wood stove, and I like to take my shoes and tie them together and hang them on the light bar up by the window. That way they're way up in the heat channel, because right now this is nice and toasty warm. Down here, right where they are now, is actually cold. So it's kind of neat because I could put drinks down here and they'll stay nice and cold. Or I can hang things up here or put things on the shelf. There's 3 zones of heat in the truck. Now I'm on the mattress laying down, so when the wood stove is burning and I'm laying down, it's actually quite comfortable. I know a lot of people think, oh, that's going to burn you out of there, you're going to be way too hot. That's not true. It's actually not the case. And when it does flare up for adding wood in there and it does really take off, I've got 2 windows. I can crack them, open them up, or open the back window, let that do its thing, or damp the stove down. The stove has 2 drafts, so it's really easy to control to damp it down. I've had the stove in here for over a year. I've camped in it probably at least 70, 80 times with fires. Zero issues. The cap is all fiberglass. It doesn't melt, it doesn't burn, it doesn't catch on fire. So if you're thinking about doing this, I do have a video on how I installed it, both in my bus, in my van, and in this truck. So I have 3 vehicles that I have the same wood stove in, and it works totally fine. I'll put the link down in the description if anyone's interested in learning a little bit more about it. But yeah, definitely tried and true. You know, it works for me. Carbon monoxide detector is up here. I usually have 2 in here, 1 down low, which is right here by my head level, and then I usually have 1 up high down towards that end, just to kind of get a good reading of the area. Other than that, pretty self-explanatory. Wood stove and truck. Right now the draft is wide open, so it's burning maximum. It's definitely getting warm. I'm going to damp that down once I get in here and get fully changed, which is what I'm going to be doing in just a couple of minutes. So yeah, definitely cold outside, really warm in here. So I do have a number of things up here that I need to charge. I have my GoPro batteries, my little charge case here. I've got my DSLR charger here. So on this trip, I decided to bring 3 battery units. I brought the Jackery 2000. I brought a Bluetti. This is a, 600 watt. So this is a 268 watt hour. Small battery, and then I brought my medium-sized Rock Pals. The reason why I did this is because I was toying with the idea of bringing the diesel heater, and the Jackery was going to run that. But I didn't bring it, and the battery was already packed, so why not bring it? It works as a neat little nightstand as well, so I got my camera up here resting on there. Nice little nightstand. And then the 2 batteries are basically, one's going to be for primary lighting in the truck, the LED light strips, and this light. And I'll just charge all my batteries and cell phone and all that fun stuff off of this one, or I could use all 3 of them. But yeah, I'm going to get changed, get out of these wet, damp clothes. Socks are soaked, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, all fully changed into some nice dry lounge type clothing, and it is definitely warm in here. So I've got the stove damped down a little bit. I plugged in some of my batteries and phone just to charge some devices up for tomorrow. Boomer is looking for some snuggles, and he is ready to go to sleep. Actually, he's kind of sitting here, kind of dozing. His head's falling, and he catches himself. So we're going to be lounging in here for the rest of the night, and I'm definitely looking forward to this. A nice, relaxing trip, like I was saying earlier, just to get out here and just have nice peace and quiet, and just enjoy nature. So he's all tuckered out, and I'm getting there as well. I do have a movie saved to my phone that I'll probably watch. I don't know if I'm going to make it through the movie. I'm probably going to fall asleep, but I'll give it a go anyways. And looking forward to tomorrow morning and hot coffee. So I'm going to say goodnight to you guys now, because that's probably what's going to happen really soon. And I'll catch up with you guys first thing in the morning. Good night, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful, crisp, and cold morning out here today. So last night I went out for a pee break just before going to bed, and I stared up at the sky and it was just glittering with stars. There was not a cloud in the sky, and it was jet black sky. The backdrop was just jet black, and the stars were just out in full force, just twinkling through the entire sky. It was incredible. So I jumped out, had a pee, stood there for a little while staring up at the stars. I was in my base layers and my slippers, so I was like, yeah, it's getting cold, I'm going back inside. So I jumped back inside, took one last look up at the sky, shut the hatch, put another piece of wood in the stove, and rolled over and went to bed. Woke up this morning, stove was out, of course, because I don't bother stoking it through the night. We were totally warm though. This sleeping bag's very, very warm. The whole truck camper, all the windows were frosted up, so it got really cold. So rolled over, sparked up the stove, put some wood in there, and we're back up to roasting. As you guys can see, the window's open. We've got hot coffee on the go right now. Boomer's itching to get out. He wants to go play. We'll do that in just a moment. I'm just warming up my shoes, so what I like to do is prop them here. That heat goes right into them and they get really, really nice and warm, and that's right where they're at right now, toasty warm. So I can slip out of my slippers, jump in my shoes, throw my pants on, all that stuff, and be nice and warm and not go through that shiver phase. So I've got my hot coffee on the go right now, which is definitely enjoyable. Oh yeah. Like I say, this is definitely the life. I often park the truck on the edge of the ocean, edge of lakes, edge of mountain cliffs, just in really, really beautiful scenic locations. And I love how the truck is so capable, the way I built it. It's just, it goes wherever I need it to go. And having 360-degree panorama of windows, because I can see out the windshield of the truck, I can see out the sides and the back, really adds to the effect, especially when you're out in any kind of weather. Just to kind of lounge right here, 1 foot on either side of the stove, all that heat lofting in, hot coffee on the tailgate up here, and just knowing that you're home out in the wilderness. Like, this is incredible. So really, really do enjoy this part of the truck. I love it. Just sitting here, hot coffee in the morning, just listening to the birds outside, watching the squirrels bounce between the branches, hearing the ocean waves if the ocean's near. Definitely an awesome way to wake up. So I'm going to do just that. Wake up, I'm going to have some coffee, throw my clothes on, and jump outside. Alright, so I've got the fire pit broke down, and it was the first time that I used this. And this is actually something I found and purchased off of Amazon. Now, I don't do discount codes or links or any of that silly nonsense on my channel. I don't care if you buy anything I use, to be totally honest. So I'm not going to put a link for this. But if you guys happen to see this on Amazon, I would recommend it. I'm very happy with it. A couple of the tabs were bent when it arrived. I put it on my benchtop vise and just spread them open. Totally fine, no worries. The reason why I got this is because it is super heavy and super robust. I didn't need anything light because I'm bringing it up truck camping. It is steel, it's not titanium. And there was absolutely very minimal warping for how big this is and how thick and heavy it is. So I'm actually very happy with this. I wanted a nice style fire pit that I can bring just to contain the fire camping in situations like this. You don't want to build fire pits on the road or turnaround spots or anywhere like that, like big rock fire pits. Just put this on the ground, do what you got to do. I'm actually really happy with it. So like I said, I don't do any codes or affiliate links or any of that nonsense. I don't care if you guys buy anything I use. I'm just out here having fun. That's all I care about, is my personal enjoyment and to share the adventure with you guys. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. Definitely something that I never thought that I'd get into, honestly. Fire pit, I'm just so used to growing up with a tent, tarp, and going camping. I guess now growing up, you know, I got a truck, van, bus. I still do hiking videos all the time, camping, tarps, tents, you name it. So this is something that I never really thought I needed, but having children and a wife and a family now, it's just so much easier to bring a fire pit and put a grate over top of it, cook, and then pack it up and go home and things of that nature. So I'm actually really happy with this. I will say there's no brand name on it. When I found it on Amazon, it was nameless and there's no reviews. I looked at it and I said, you know what, I'm gonna take a chance on that because it looks good, and I'm very happy with it. So no name, campfire pit, 2 thumbs up. So I'm going to be finishing up my coffee. The fire looks like it is just about burned out. And if you guys are interested in any information on this, I think I mentioned it last night. I'll put a link in the description, down in the video description, and in the comments on how I installed the wood stove in the truck, as well as a full installation video using the same stove and the same method in my camper van. Okay, so I'm going to put all that information down below just to kind of mitigate some of the questions here in the comment section. I like referring people to other videos, that way I can stay out of the comment section, answering questions that I already had videos based on, and then I can do more of this, more of camping and filming and less office type work. So that's going to burn out. Once that's all done, I'm basically going to pack up the truck and grab my gear and start hiking into the next location for the second night. So let's finish this coffee. Alright guys, well I think I'm just about ready to wrap this up. The stove is pretty much burned out. I've got to get the chimney pipe out and get the cap on just in case it does snow tonight. The truck will be staying right here. It's going to be all locked up and everything secured. So I do have to get changed into some new fresh clothes, get the backpack totally packed. I still need to add my cook set and my food. Kind of go through just to make sure I've got everything I need. And then it's going to be head out of here, hike to a location, and call it home for this evening. So I will be doing a video very soon on the truck itself. I've been getting asked a lot of questions lately about the truck information with the Ram specifically, about what tires, what rims, what lift, all that fun stuff. So I'll be doing a video of that really shortly just to help people kind of get their truck to where they would like it, just by referencing what I did to mine. So that video will be coming very soon, but for now, I am going to say peace out, guys. I've got a lot of work to do before I can head out of this next location. My water is actually freezing, and luckily I do have a mountain stream, so there's a river just feet, probably about 30 feet in the woods from where I'm at right now. You guys can probably hear it. That's not noise. That's not white noise. I know someone mentioned that in the last video as well, is turn the gain on your microphone down. Whenever I'm near water, that's the sound of the water. So I'm going to take my water bottle, go down there, fill it up, and of course boil it when I get to where I'm going. But yeah, I'm just going to square up things here and head on to the next video. So I just want to say thank you guys very much for joining me. Give you guys a little bit of scoop on behind the scenes, and peace out. I'll catch you in the next video.